Hi. Today, Wednesday, the Law of the Sea Treaty comes up for hearings in the United States Senate, and in a few weeks they'll push to ratify it. This is the most horrific giveaway you can imagine, an erosion of our sovereignty. Please, please, get a copy of my book, Screwed, read about it, arm yourself with the details, and sign the petition adjacent to this video, and write everybody and get people involved to kill this treaty. It's horrible. It was signed by Clinton, but he didn't have the guts to put it up for ratification. Bush wouldn't, and now Obama's pushing hard for it. And John Kerry, head of the Foreign Affairs Committee, is leading the charge. And Dick Lugar, that rhino who bit the dust 2 weeks ago, is the ranking member of the committee. For the Republicans, he's supporting it. John McCain is supporting it. But all the conservative Republicans are against it. And the House of Representatives just yesterday passed an amendment along party lines calling on the Senate not to ratify it and prohibiting any funds from being used for its enforcement. But that's a purely symbolic bill because it's a one-house bill, and ratification is entirely within the control of the Senate. We have got to get 1/3 plus 1 to kill this treaty. The first thing it does is, right now, the waves, the seas throughout the world are ruled by the United States Navy. We have no other naval force that is even close to being competitive with ours. And we enforce open sea lanes. We make sure that everybody has access and that nobody closes them down. China is trying to close the South China Sea, and we won't let it. And what this would do is strip the United States Navy of that role and empower a UN tribunal. And you know how unbiased those are. They'll reliably always be against the United States, to decide what sea lane should be open and what sea lane should not be. But it's the economic consequence of this treaty that really has me up in arms. It provides that the United States shall give this international UN body, the Seabed Authority, 160 nations, 1/2 of our royalties for oil and mineral drilling out past 200 miles of our continental shelf. Initially, that's going to be in the range of $23 billion a year, and it's going to go up, and some even say it could be in the hundreds of billions or even trillions over the life of the treaty. And treaties are forever. You know, we can always repeal Obamacare or balance the budget or rein in the EPA. But treaties acquire the force of a constitutional amendment under a supremacy clause. They cannot be repealed by an act of Congress or even by the president. There are only two ways to get rid of it: a constitutional amendment or another treaty with the same nations let us out of the obligation. Fat chance of getting that when they're getting money from it. It also obliges us to take our technology, often developed out of tax money, for offshore drilling, and turn it over to any country that wants it. We literally hand it over. We initially hand it over to the Seabed Authority, and they hand it over to anybody. And by the way, it gives the Seabed Authority broad leeway to tax the American people for its purposes, to tax the royalties and other things. They can literally decide how much money to take from us. And then there's another wrinkle, which may be why they're pushing it so hard. When this treaty was first negotiated in the late 70s and the early 80s, it included a provision that the Seabed Authority fights against pollution of the oceans, and it defined thermal pollution as one of the pollutants. Well, could the Seabed Authority ban coal-fired plants in the United States or require higher mileage vehicles to stop global warming and climate change? Is this a backdoor way to force climate change regulation? Could be. So please, get energized, spread the word, let your friends know, send this video all over the place. We only have about 6 weeks to stop this treaty, and right now we're behind, so please get it in gear. Thanks.